Welcome to Max Life Man, your essential YouTube channel, expertly led by our top expert, Dr. Sterling Thorne. Dr. Thorne and his top team from the prestigious Evergreen Peaks Institute bring years of dedicated research and hands-on experience in men's health. We deliver insightful, heartfelt podcasts designed to optimize your health and unlock your best self. Gentlemen, let's cut straight to the truth. If you're over 60, there are two questions you've probably whispered to yourself in the quiet of night. Is masturbation at my age still safe, or is it slowly hurting me? And why is my prostate giving me so much trouble? For decades, society told you lies. They said masturbation is always harmless, no matter your age. They said prostate growth is just a normal part of getting old. But I can tell you, as a doctor, neither of those statements is the whole truth. And worse, believing them may be stealing your vitality right under your nose. Because here's what I see in my clinic every week. Men who come in ashamed, exhausted, and secretly afraid. They tell me, "Doc, I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought this was healthy. But now I'm waking up 3 times a night to pee, my energy is gone by noon, and my erections aren't what they used to be." And when we trace it back, the story is painfully familiar. Years of small mistakes, masturbation done without recovery, diets heavy in the wrong fruits, ignoring prostate signals. It's not one big sin, it's the slow drip of habits that never got questioned. Now you may be wondering, why hasn't anyone told me this before? Why don't doctors bring it up during regular checkups? The truth is uncomfortable. Most physicians avoid the conversation. It feels too intimate, too awkward, too taboo. So men are left in the dark, guessing, hoping, sometimes hurting themselves without even knowing. But here at Max Life Man, we don't avoid the uncomfortable truths. We shine light on them. Because what you don't know can harm you, and what you do know can set you free. Tonight, I want to show you 3 things every man over 60 needs to hear. The truth about masturbation mistakes after 60, and how they silently damage your nerves, hormones, and prostate. The worst fruit you should never touch if you want to protect your prostate from swelling. And most importantly, the natural remedies and diet changes that actually prevent prostate growth and restore your vitality. But before we dive in, I want to pause and ask you something very simple. Because I know thousands of men are watching this right now, silently nodding, maybe even feeling a bit exposed. And if you are one of them, I want you to take a small action that may just shift your entire life. Backhand index pointing right, hit that like button. Not for me, not for the algorithm, but for you. Because here's the strange thing I've noticed after decades of working with men. Those who take a bold step forward, even something as small as clicking like, open themselves to change. They send a signal to themselves and to the world that they are ready for more. And here's my promise to you. If you hit like right now, I'll send a blessing your way. I'm serious. Every man who taps that button, I want you to know this. May you find strength in your body, peace in your mind, and joy in your days. May your health improve, your nights grow calmer, your mornings stronger, and may the universe deliver to you that one thing you've been quietly longing for. You don't have to tell me what it is. You don't even have to say it out loud. Just let your finger tap that button and let that small act be a seed. And when you look back weeks from now, you may realize something has shifted. Doors opening, energy returning, relationships warming, life flowing again. Does that sound too mystical? Maybe, but I've seen it too many times to deny it. Men who choose to act, even in a small way, start to see bigger results. That's not superstition, that's human psychology reinforced by biology. Action creates momentum, and momentum creates change. So go ahead, tap that like button right now. Let it be the first step in reclaiming your health, your energy, and your manhood. Now let's get back to the science. Because tonight's episode isn't about fear, it's about clarity. It's about stripping away the myths and giving you the truth. The truth about your prostate, your habits, and your future. Think of this as a map. You've been walking in a fog, stumbling around trying to make sense of your body. Tonight, I'm handing you the lantern. And together, we'll walk the path that leads not just to relief, but to renewal. So once again, welcome to Max Life Man. Buckle up, because what you're about to hear may challenge what you thought you knew. But it may also save you years of silent suffering. And trust me, that's a trade worth making. Gentlemen, let's talk about something most men never suspect: fruit. Yes, fruit, the very thing you've been told all your life is always healthy. But here's the shocker. If you are over 60, there is one fruit in particular that can quietly make your prostate swell. Now, before I reveal the culprit, let me explain why this matters. The prostate is a small gland, but it reacts strongly to sugar, inflammation, and hormone shifts. And the wrong fruit, eaten often at your age, acts like gasoline on the fire. I once had a patient, Robert, 67 years old, a retired accountant. He was doing everything right, walking daily, eating healthy. But his prostate kept enlarging. He was waking up 3 times a night to pee. His wife noticed his energy fading, and he thought it was just normal aging. When I reviewed his diet, every evening he was enjoying a bowl of sweet, juicy grapes. Now, don't get me wrong. Grapes in moderation are fine for younger men, but in seniors, the concentrated natural sugar spikes insulin, which then drives inflammation. Studies published in the Journal of Urology have shown that men with higher sugar intake have more rapid prostate growth and worse urinary symptoms. And Robert was proof. His healthy habit was actually fueling the problem. And it's not just grapes. Fruits like watermelon and pineapple, while refreshing, pack a heavy sugar load. When the body can't process sugar efficiently, which happens more as we age, the excess gets stored as fat, drives insulin resistance, and stirs up inflammation in the prostate tissue. Here's the hidden danger. The prostate doesn't just swell because of hormones like testosterone and estrogen. It swells because of chronic irritation. Sugar is like sandpaper on the system. It rubs, inflames, and keeps the gland in a constant state of irritation. That's why men with diets high in sweet fruits or juices often report more urgency, more nighttime urination, and more trouble getting a steady stream. So let me be very clear. If you are over 60, you must treat fruit differently than you did at 30 or 40. Not all fruits are bad, but some are your enemy. Grapes, pineapple, watermelon, mango, these can be prostate irritants if eaten daily in large portions. The good news: you don't need to ban all fruit. The solution is balance, and I'll show you exactly which fruits help your prostate heal in a later section. But right now, you need to stop the hidden enemy. And let me ask you directly, how many of you watching this eat grapes or sweet fruit every night? Be honest. If that's you, type "that's me" in the comments below, because I want you to see you're not alone. Thousands of men are in the same boat, and tonight may be the first time you realize the connection. And remember, if you already hit like earlier, you've taken the first step. If you haven't, do it now, not because I asked, but because it locks in your commitment. And maybe, just maybe, it unlocks the blessing of finally sleeping through the night without running to the bathroom. Now here's the problem. Sugar is like rush hour traffic accidents happening over and over again. Every time you flood your body with sugar, whether from grapes, pineapple, juices, or even bread and pastries, you cause a pileup on the highways. Insulin, the traffic cop, runs in to clear the mess. But if you keep crashing day after day, eventually the cop is overwhelmed. What does this mean for your prostate? Insulin resistance. When your body stops responding well to insulin, inflammation rises like smoke after a fire. And the prostate is extremely sensitive to inflammation. It swells. Hormone imbalance. High sugar lowers testosterone and increases estrogen activity. And that imbalance, it's like fertilizer for prostate growth. Chronic irritation. Think of sugar as tiny sparks landing on dry grass. One spark isn't a problem, but sparks every day. The field catches fire. For your prostate, that means constant low-level swelling. I remember Harold, 72, a retired firefighter. He once told me, "Doc, I fought fires for decades, but I never realized the biggest fire was inside me." His diet was loaded with fruit juice and cookies. Once he cut back on sugar, within 3 months, his nighttime bathroom trips dropped from 4 to 1. That's not magic, that's biology. And this isn't just my observation. The Harvard School of Public Health has published multiple studies linking high blood sugar and insulin resistance to larger prostates and worse urinary symptoms. The science is clear. Sugar doesn't just affect your waistline, it squeezes your bladder, disrupts your sleep, and drains your energy. Now here's where I want you to lean in. Because some of you might be thinking, Doc, are you telling me to never touch sugar again? Not exactly. What I'm telling you is this: your prostate is like a pressure gauge. It can handle small fluctuations, but constant overload will break the system. So let me ask you directly. Backhand index pointing right, how many teaspoons of sugar do you think you consume in a day? 10? 15? More? Type your guess in the comments, and if you're brave, track it tomorrow and share the number under this video. You'll be shocked at how quickly it adds up. And once again, if you haven't tapped like yet, do it now. Not just for me, but as a personal pledge that you're ready to stop feeding the fire and start cooling it down. And I'll send you my blessing again. May your nights be quieter, your mornings stronger, and your health renewed. Here's the hidden truth. When your prostate is inflamed and your blood sugar is out of control, it doesn't just make you run to the bathroom at night. It robs you of erections, vitality, and rest. Let me explain. Erections depend on two things: strong blood flow and balanced hormones. But sugar does the opposite. It stiffens your arteries, lowers your testosterone, and floods your system with stress hormones like cortisol. That means weaker erections, shorter stamina, and frustration in the bedroom. But it doesn't stop there. Prostate swelling presses on your bladder, forcing you to wake up 2, 3, even 5 times a night. And when your sleep is broken, your body can't repair itself. Testosterone is mainly produced during deep sleep. So if you're up all night, your hormone tank is running on empty the next day. No wonder so many men tell me, Doc, I feel drained before lunch. That's not aging, it's the domino effect. Sugar, right arrow inflammation, right arrow prostate swelling, right arrow poor sleep, right arrow low testosterone, right arrow weaker erections, right arrow low energy. A vicious cycle that repeats night after night, year after year. I'll give you an example. Leonard, 69, a retired school principal, came to me exhausted. His wife whispered. He snores. He wakes up constantly, and intimacy is almost gone. After testing, we found 2 problems: an enlarged prostate and high fasting blood sugar. Once we cut back sugar and supported his sleep, within weeks his energy returned. And his wife told me with a smile, Doc, he's a new man. He actually sings in the shower again. This is the hidden connection most men miss. Your erections, your energy, and your sleep are tied together. Fix one and the others improve. Ignore one and the whole system breaks down. Now let me ask you honestly, how many times do you wake up at night? Once? Twice? More? Drop the number in the comments. You'll see you're not alone. And if you haven't already, hit that like button, because I want you to make a pledge tonight. Better sleep, better strength, better manhood. And let me say this as a blessing. May tonight be the start of quieter sleep, calmer nights, and mornings where you wake up ready, not weary. Gentlemen, before I go deeper into today's lesson, I want to pause and do something I promised you. Answer a few of your comments and letters. Because Mac's life isn't just me talking, it's a conversation between us. And trust me, when I read what you write, I feel like I'm sitting across the table from you. Here's one from James, 74, from Ohio. He wrote, Dr. Thorne, I've been masturbating 2 to 3 times a week for years. My doctor says it's harmless, but my prostate keeps growing. Could it be connected? James, thank you for the courage to ask. The truth is this: frequency matters less than recovery. At your age, tissues heal slower. If you don't give your pelvic nerves and prostate time to recover, constant friction and stimulation can worsen inflammation. So yes, done without rest, it can contribute to growth. It's not about stopping completely. It's about pacing yourself, respecting your body's slower healing rhythm. Another one from David, 68, Florida. Doc, I cut sugar, but I still get up at night. Is it hopeless? David, not at all. Sugar is one piece of the puzzle, but so is fluid timing, bladder training, and strengthening pelvic muscles. Often men improve dramatically by cutting sugar and adding evening habits like warm water in the afternoon, light walks, and no caffeine past 2 p.m. It's never hopeless, my friend. Here's one more from Earl, 71, Texas. Doc, I feel embarrassed even typing this. Erections are weak. I thought it was just old age, but after watching your last video, I wonder, could it be sleep? Earl, you nailed it. Yes, poor sleep kills testosterone, and low testosterone weakens erections. Fix your sleep, and you may be shocked at how much stronger things get, even without pills. You're not broken, you're just out of rhythm. And now I want to turn the mic back to you watching right now, because I know you've got questions too. So let me ask, what's the one thing you've always wanted to ask about your prostate or your erections, but never dared to say out loud? Go ahead. Leave it in the comments. You don't have to give details. Even a short line helps. And I read every single one. And while you're typing, don't forget, hit like if you haven't yet. Not because I need it, but because every like is a way of saying, I'm part of this community, I want change. I'm ready to fight for my health. And for every man who does that, I bless you. May your courage today bring healing tomorrow. What this pill does inside your body. Gentlemen, let's get clinical for a moment, because many of you watching this have either been prescribed a pill for your prostate, or you've seen ads for supplements promising to shrink it overnight. And I know the question burning in your mind, what do these pills actually do inside my body? Here's the truth. Most prostate pills fall into two categories: prescription medications. Alpha blockers like tamsulosin, Flomax, relax the muscles around your prostate and bladder neck. Imagine a tight doorway that keeps jamming. These pills oil the hinges so urine flows more freely. Then there are 5-alpha reductase inhibitors like finasteride. These block the conversion of testosterone into DHT, the hormone that acts like fertilizer for prostate growth. Less DHT equals slower prostate enlargement. Supplements and herbal formulas. Things like saw palmetto, beta-sitosterol, and pumpkin seed extract. These act more gently, reducing inflammation, supporting hormone balance, and soothing the irritated tissue. Now here's the catch. Pills don't cure the prostate. They manage symptoms. They're like a firefighter spraying water on the flames, but if you keep pouring gasoline, sugar, late-night habits, constant pelvic irritation, the fire will flare back up. Think of it like this. A pill can open the bathroom door wider, or slow the fertilizer on the gland, but it doesn't rebuild the soil. That part is on you. Your daily choices, your diet, your habits, that's where lasting change comes from. I'll tell you a story. Frank, 70, a retired mechanic, came to me with severe urgency. His doctor had him on Flomax. Yes, he peed easier, but the side effects hit him hard: dizziness, fatigue, even weaker erections. When we combined his prescription with lifestyle changes, cutting sugar, adding daily walks, reducing nighttime fluids, his symptoms improved more than the pill alone. And best of all, his wife told me, "Doc, he's steady on his feet again." So the lesson is clear. Pills are tools, not magic bullets. They work best when combined with prostate-friendly living. Now let me ask you, are you on a prescription, a supplement, or nothing at all? Drop it in the comments. Type RX if you're on medication, sup if you take supplements, or none if you're not using anything. This way you'll see just how many men are walking the same path as you. And if you haven't tapped like yet, brother, now is the time. Tap it as a commitment. I won't just rely on a pill. I'll take charge of my health. And may the universe return that commitment with strength, clarity, and peace of mind. The nighttime pill, why timing is everything. Gentlemen, let me tell you a secret that even many doctors overlook. When you take a pill matters almost as much as what pill you take. Especially when it comes to your prostate, your energy, and your manhood. Why? Because your body doesn't run on a flat line, it runs on rhythms. Night and day, light and dark, awake and asleep. And your hormones, your prostate, even your erections, they all follow this clock. Here's the science made simple. Testosterone is built at night. Most of your testosterone is produced in the early stages of deep sleep. Miss that window or interrupt it with bathroom trips, and your tank runs dry. The prostate repairs itself at night. Like a workshop that only opens after hours, your prostate tissue calms, rebuilds, and recovers in the quiet of sleep. But if inflammation is high or sugar is circulating, the workshop
So where
can't
does
do
the
its
pill
job.
fit in?
If you take it in the morning, you may get some benefit at night. But by the time your body is ready for real repair, at night, they're not the effect has worn thin. They are the body's when you time it in the evening, you align the medicine with your body's natural healing cycle. It's like having workers show up exactly when the workshop opens. I'll give you an example. Harold, 73, a retired truck driver, was frustrated. He was on his prescription, but still waking up 4 times a night. We adjusted one simple thing, moved his pill to the evening. Within 2 weeks, he was down to once a night. His wife said, "Doc, he actually sleeps through my alarm now." That's not magic, that's timing, aligning the tool with the body's rhythm. Now let me ask you something. When do you usually take your medication or supplements? Morning, afternoon, night? Drop it in the comments. You might be surprised how many men will realize they've been out of sync for years. And here's my challenge to you. If you haven't hit like yet, do it now, not as a favor to me, but as a signal to yourself. A signal that you're ready to stop fighting your body's rhythm and start working with it. And may tonight, yes, tonight, be the first night you sleep deeper, wake fewer times, and rise in the morning with real strength. Real stories, men who changed their lives. Gentlemen, science is powerful, but stories are what make us believe. Because when you hear about men just like you facing the same struggles, you realize you're not alone, and more importantly, you realize change is possible. Let me tell you about George, 66, a retired engineer from Michigan. George came to me with classic symptoms, frequent urination, weak flow, and fatigue. He admitted, "Doc, I thought it was hopeless. My father went through this, and I figured it was just my turn." But when he cut out the nightly grapes, timed his pill at night, and added light evening walks, everything shifted. 3 months later, he told me with tears in his eyes, "I slept through the night for the first time in 10 years. His wife said, "He's smiling again." Then there was Carlos, 71, from California, a former construction worker. Carlos struggled with both weak erections and poor sleep. He laughed when I first told him sugar was the hidden fire. But he tried it, cutting back on sodas and replacing them with water and herbal tea. Within weeks, his energy returned. Within months, his intimacy did too. He told me, "Doc, I thought I was done as a man. Turns out I was just inflamed." And one more, Earl, 75, from Georgia, a grandfather of 6. Earl had been prescribed medication for years, but he was frustrated by side effects. We focused on timing, diet, and daily habits. After 6 months, not only had his prostate symptoms eased, but his grandchildren noticed. His granddaughter said, "Grandpa, you don't nap all afternoon anymore, you play with us." And Earl told me, "Doc, I thought I'd lost my life. Now I feel like I've gained extra time." These aren't miracles. These are men who made small, consistent changes, cutting sugar, respecting timing, pacing intimacy, and listening to their bodies. And that's what I want you to see. You are not broken. You are not too old. You are not beyond repair. Now let me ask you, whose story felt closest to your own? Was it George, the man who just wanted a full night's sleep? Was it Carlos, who thought his manhood was gone? Or was it Earl, who wanted his energy back for his family? Tell me in the comments. Because when you share, you may help another man see himself and take the first step. And one more time, if you haven't tapped like, do it now. Not because this channel needs it, but because it marks your moment of decision. Your line in the sand that says, "I refuse to give up. I choose to live stronger, longer, and freer." And may that choice bring you blessings, nights of rest, mornings of strength, and years of vitality ahead. Your next step and conclusion. Gentlemen, you've heard the science, you've seen the stories, and you've felt the truth. Now it's time to talk about you. If you are over 60 and struggling with your prostate, your sleep, or your manhood, here's your next step. Start small, but start today. Cut back on the hidden sugars fueling your prostate growth. Respect your body's recovery, pace your intimacy. Shift your timing, whether it's your pill, your supplement, or your habits, to align with your body's natural night rhythm. And most of all, stop believing the lie that it's just old age. Because it's not. What you've been living through is not destiny, it's neglect. And neglect can be reversed. I want you to imagine this. 2 weeks from now, you sleep through the night without interruption. A month from now, your energy lasts past dinner. 3 months from now, your wife, your children, or even your grandchildren look at you and say, "You seem different." stronger, happier. That's the road ahead if you take the step today. So here's what I ask of you. Backhand index pointing right, type in the comments one simple thing you'll change after watching this video. Maybe it's cutting fruit after dinner. Maybe it's moving your pill tonight. Maybe it's just deciding to track your sleep. Write it down and let the community support you. And if you haven't yet, hit that like button, because every like sends a ripple into this community. Every like tells another man, you are not broken, you are not alone, and your health can be restored. Finally, subscribe. Not because I need a number on a screen, but because this journey is not a one-time talk. It's a brotherhood. Every week, I bring you truths that most doctors won't tell you, stories that prove life after 60 can be stronger than ever, and science that works in real life. So, gentlemen, let me leave you with this blessing. May your nights be peaceful, your mornings full of strength, and your years ahead richer than you dreamed. You are not broken. You are simply ready for renewal. This is Dr. Sterling Thorne, and this is Max Life Man. Until next time, stay strong, stay wise, and never stop moving forward.